All right, Forrest Griffin, this is the third fight between you and Tito Ortiz. UFC 59, 2006, you lost a split decision. That was the fight of the year. Then you take the rematch also by split decision in 2009. But here as we sit in 2012, how closely are the two of you matched?
I don't think a lot's changed since the last couple go-rounds, you know. We'll see. I think, you know, you always think you have a couple of surprises, but we'll find out.
We know how competitive you are. We know your wit and sense of humor has endeared you to UFC fans across the world, but I'm going to ask you to take this question very seriously. You have said if you can't beat Tito Ortiz, you will retire from life. You obviously have some pressure as the 4-1 favorite, but how much pressure are you putting on yourself to make sure you come through in this spot and to not let him go off into retirement by winning this series?
Well, shit, if I said it, it must be true, so there you go. I'll stand behind it. But Tito said something that kind of spoke to me. He said, you know, this is, you know, I'll die for this, I'll die for that. You know, and at first it sounds kind of outlandish, but if you really think about it, you know, in 20 or 30 years, if I'm remembered for anything, it's going to be for fighting, you know. I was never, you know, a soldier, a fireman, a cop, or, you know, I never put my life on the line in another capacity. This is the closest thing to being a hero I'll ever come. So yeah, I'll die for this. And I thought about that. I thought about that comment I made. I thought about what I was doing a long time ago when I started training for this fight. I thought this fight was going to be maybe May 5th, you know. So I'm ready. I've worked on a lot of new things, and you know, I took it serious. I never really called anybody out before, you know. I never asked for an opponent before, so I figured if I was going to do that, I better make damn sure that I was ready.
All right, well, you guys have already shared the Octagon for 30 minutes. You know each other quite well. Can there be any surprises stylistically at this point in time? And what do you think when the Octagon door closes, this fight's going to come down to?
Oh yeah, that was for me. I don't know. You know, it's hard to say. That's kind of predictive analysis. You know, I know it's going to be a big day for Tito, and I know he's going to come in with a big head of steam. You know, Hall of Fame, final fight, fighting me. I know he gets motivated to fight me. You know, I just have to make sure that I'm prepared to match that intensity right from the jump.
All right, well, you are an established UFC veteran, obviously a former UFC champion, but this has been your first training camp as a father. How has that impacted your preparation and I guess affected, you know, the training camp and the days and weeks leading up to the fight?
Well, it's not that bad. I got a good wife, so.
Yeah, I think that goes a long way. All right,
I don't do any of the heavy lifting, you know?
You change diapers, all right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Question for Forrest over here. Last time you fought, obviously, was in Brazil. You talked about not liking to travel. Do you think that you are a different fighter, a fighter who's in a better place when you get to fight at home? Do you feel the difference, especially on fight week?
Oh yeah, I mean, the fight week's pretty obvious. You know, you just go through your normal routine. Tonight I'll work out at my normal gym at fight time. You know, it's other than this, it's pretty convenient.
And would you say, obviously, it's been a couple of years since you last fought Tito. Is he better, the same, or worse of a fighter since you last fought him, in your opinion, based on your scouting of him now?
That's a good question. You know, I think, I don't know, I thought, you know, you got to think he fought Rashad. That was Rashad at his apex. You know, the Rashad he fought, that Rashad would have beat up a lot of guys. Pretty much everybody except that John Jones fella. But, you know, I don't know. I mean, I watched the fight with Hamill. He showed great striking there. You know, we'll see. I'd like to think, in my mind, I've prepared for every scenario. I think, you know, once we get going, though, it'll be the same kind of, you know, the same Tito, the same Forrest. I think, you know, we're both going to come in with game plans, and we'll see. You know, I kind of think it'll fall into the same rhythm it has. But I'm ready if it doesn't.
Forrest, you're a new father. How are you balancing this new experience? Obviously, you'll be married for a while, but how are you balancing now somebody that is really depending on you and you having to deal with your kid and your training camp?
Yeah, I don't do much of the heavy lifting, you know. I had to, at one point I had to just move into the guest bedroom. You know, it's like, I'm not getting up and fighting dudes after getting, you know, after waking up all night. So, you know, I think, you know, you have a good life, you're gonna be able to make it, you know. It's not easy, I wouldn't recommend that. It's not not conducive to your career or your business, whatever.
I've got a question for you, Forrest. A couple things. First and foremost, whoever designed your T-shirt, bravo, genius. I want one. I'm curious. You're a very creative guy. You're a writer as well. You've been doing your tweeting therapy. I know that's going well for you. I'm curious, when you're training, though, how does that affect your writing? Does it make is it a better outlet for you creatively? You know, do you write more when you're in camp or less?
No, I got a ton of crap for the third book, and I put it on hold a while back, and I'll pick it up again Monday.
Forrest, I do have a little girl. It's not so little anymore, but do you think she motivates you to fight more now, or to maybe retire?
No, not at all. That retirement, that's been going around. Apparently, when you joke about suicide, people think you might quit your job. He was talking earlier about training. I really like training. Like, after I got beat up by Silva, I was pretty depressed, and this weird thing happened. Every day, I just got in my car and it went to the gym. And no matter what I'm doing in life, that just seems to happen. You know, even if I don't intend to, my car goes right to the gym and I work out. I don't know, I just really enjoy work, you know, I don't mind it. It's not something I'm ready to give up yet, you know. You get a little, you know, you have setbacks and you get disappointed, and my frustration with the sport simply comes from me not being able to be better than I am. You know, me working on things and then not doing them. I had a great camp for Shogun, I was in great shape, yada, 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 fought like shit. You know, it's upsetting, you know. It's not, I love this sport. I work about twice a year, and every time after I fight, I usually take a month off. Last time I had a kid, so I took 6 weeks off. So, I don't know, man, I like training camps. It's fun to me, you know, it's a good reason to get out of bed in the morning. You gotta do something, you know? You gotta get out of bed and do something, and wrestle around with dudes is what I wanna do.